and John sort of mooted this 40th anniversary reunion stuff, that myself and Ronnie should come back and, do these things. I kept ringing John, sort of saying, any danger of a rehearsal? It's 22 years since I left the Dubliners. I know it's getting, says, you know the stuff. I said, I know the stuff, but what's everybody else doing? Like, I've never been on stage with Ronnie. I said, 22 years, I'm nervous now. I said, sure, we're going over the night before, we've plenty of time. Well, that's never happened anyway. The fact is, we walked on in front of that huge crowd at the end of last January, and it was just like it was like the last night I played with them 22 years before.
It's a bit of a miracle how it functions, really, because I think if you were to try and pick 5 more diverse persons than we are, I don't think you could possibly succeed. And we all do our own thing. I mean, even musically within the group, each one steps forward and does their solo, backed by the other 4 or 5, as the case may be. And whereas most other groups, I think that they operate as a group, as an entity of a group all the time, And I think the same is true of each one of us socially. We seldom socialise together. Not to say we're not good friends, and I might go out with Ronnie for a meal one day and maybe Eamon another day, or I might ramble out to Barney's place and go out fishing occasionally. And I think that's why the group has stayed together for so long.
It's more a familial thing than than just being a member of a band. I have, I'm very fond of all the lads in the band, and we don't socialise all that much together. But at the same time, if there's anything like a wedding or anything like that, and there recently my brother died, the mercy on him, and the lads all showed up and played at the funeral and all that. So it's kind of, we don't go on holidays or together or any of that stuff. And I mightn't see the lads for ages when I'm not working with them. But when we do meet, you don't have to it's almost as though you were saying, as I was saying, you don't have to reintroduce yourself. And it's there now for so many years, and we all know one another's foibles.
We all have our own little, I don't know, like John and myself playing together, Riley and myself, there's Barney and myself doing the banjo solo guitar. There's all these lovely little animals in the concerts, and it's just, it all, at the end of the night, the punters have loved it and it's all clicked.
It's the family with some deceased members, I could put it that way. The dynamic is still there, definitely. And everybody gives it the best shot, regardless of the troubles you might have at home, domestically or personally, or even dissensions within the group, which arise at times, don't impede on the actual performance. And I've seen rows going on before they get then onto the stage and give it lacquery.
Myself and Ronnie get on very well. A lot of people are quite nervous around Ronnie because he gives off these, seriously grumpy vibes. These are actually not pretend vibes at all. He is seriously grumpy.
And I am grumpy, no doubt about it. I'm a grump. But then you see, I don't subscribe. Another way you say to fella, how are you? I know you're complaining. I think that every youth are complaining. I know you're whinging and sitting in the corner and saying, that was terrible, you know what I mean? But complain, always, keep on going. You keep complaining, you get something done. If you don't complain, you get nothing done.
So I could see the need for somebody to coordinate things and organise things to some extent, because it was fairly chaotic. I remember Luke at one stage saying, "I look after the money tonight," you see. So he'd grab the money, whatever was going, and just split it up 5 ways, and there was no allowance made for petrol money or sound hire or anything else. And I remember stepping in and saying, "Hold on, Luke, what about the guy who supplied the microphones?" And All right, yeah, okay. Well, you look after it, so, you know, and that become one of my chores to look after the kind of background organisation. I suppose I wouldn't be that organised, but I'd be the best organised of a disorganised bunch, you know.
I would say, even though Ronnie was the oldest, we always referred to John as Daddy John. I think he was, because both literally and metaphorically, he was the sober one. In those days, anyway. John was a rock of sense compared to the rest of us, and this was obvious to all of us. And it was quite funny, even when we'd arrive in an airport. I think it was Barney who used the expression. He said we all moored our bags around John's.
We used to laugh about this. Saying that, John, we used to say things like this. Say that, can you imagine 40 years' time? Did you see Barney anywhere? Where's John? Where's Ronnie? He's gone out. He doesn't know where he's gone. You know, we used to be joking about it. Hasn't got that bad yet, but do you get the message?
Well, the Dubliners have been and always will be a huge part of my professional life and my personal life, indeed. Even though when it was, you know, the years I'm not with them, we didn't see each other very much. We always kept in touch, and there's no doubt that being with the Dubliners would have been the high point of my professional life.
Ireland is a small country, and Dublin is more like a village, I suppose, and most times when I went to Dublin, somebody would recognise me or you know, realise I was one of the group. But the nice thing about Ireland and the way they treat people like ourselves who've become well known, they just treat us like any other Joe Soap on the street. How's it going? Or a car window will be rolled down and say, how's it going, John? Give us a tune, you know, this kind of thing. And then for my own bit of writing, with the Marina Waltz, I remember I was walking up Grafton Street one day, and this old lady, about 80, she saw me coming, and I could see the gleam in her eyes. She'd recognise me, and she just came over very closely to me. And she never said, how are you? I know who you are, or anything else. She just winked at me and said, the Marina Waltz. And that's all, you know. That kind of recognition and kind of thing is nice, you know.
Mostly I enjoy it. I must say I enjoy it because I feel at home anywhere in Ireland. I mean, everywhere I go, people, well, you see, the old beard gives you away, you know. And you don't have to do a double take, you know, like another way to be, oh, when is that your man, you know. They don't have to do any of that. And so I get this real warm feeling when people say, hello, Ronnie, how are you getting on? It's as though they know me, which is a really nice, warm feeling. And it far outweighs the odd, I can't think of a word now for it, but you know what I mean. I can't think of it, but I can't say it. You meet these heads who, you know, try to get it up for you and all that. But I mean, I can handle them. I don't mind them. It's only about the 30th one gets a bit of a lash, you know.
As long as people don't over, and I must say that about Dublin. Dublin is all right that way. I mean, you can go into it, even people as famous as U2, following the boys up and calling into the pubs and out, and they're going for a drink in the Twang or down the docks, and it's great to be able to go in without having the FBI outside or Dublin Castle minding you, you know. You can't imagine if we were in New York or you know, like Elvis, you'd have to go completely recluse, which he did, which a lot of famous people. Now even them, well in the folk thing we're probably one of the biggest groups, but in Dublin it's, apart from the begrudging thing, it's great. Like, you know, the Dublin, I remember you when you'd nothing. Brandon Mead said, do you remember the well? You don't fucking remember as much as I do.